Hi spooky friend, it's Dark here and welcome to my channel, Hold Me in the Dark. Today we're going to be talking about some of the best horror games that have come out in 2025. If you like video games and horror like me, then check out my other videos. Show your support by liking this one, subscribing, and hit that notification bell to keep a pulse on the next dark venture. It's time to dig into 4 of my favorite horror games that have come out in 2025. I do want to note that there were a couple that I wanted to play this year, but I just didn't get the time to, and I'm sure that they would have probably made this list. But I'm still planning on playing a few of those that have come out this year that I'm interested in. Just know that there's a ton of the games that came out this year that I didn't get around to, but these are the ones that I got around to that I really enjoyed. The first game on my list is No, I Am Not a Human. This is a first-person visual novel that combines moral decision-making and survival elements in a post-apocalyptic setting. This was released on September 15th, developed by Trioscas, and published by Critical Reflex. The game revolves around a catastrophic solar event, causing extreme heat and forcing humans to take shelter during the day, causing them to live a more nocturnal lifestyle. Players take the role of a male protagonist who must remain in his house during the day and interacts with nightly visitors seeking shelter. Some visitors are human, others aren't. There are deadly visitors that mimic humans. Your challenge is to survive by discerning who can be trusted while managing moral dilemmas and limited daily energy resources. As the story unfolds, you encounter cult members, vigilantes, and government workers. The gameplay mechanics include visitor assessment. You must observe each visitor's behavior, appearance, and story to determine who is a threat and potential deadly visitor. Examination and interaction. You can examine their features such as teeth, eyes, fingernails that may give you clues on whether or not they are mimics. Decision making after assessment. You can either let your guest in or reject them. Every decision you make has an effect on the story and will determine which ending you will get. Energy management. Each day you must manage your energy carefully due to having a finite amount that is consumed while conducting examinations and interacting with your guests. In this game you can get multiple endings. The narrative changes based on your decision as a player. It has an outcome on the survival of your human guests and how long you survive in the game. This game in a nutshell is unique in its own. It's a psychological horror with strong moral decision making. It has randomized visitor rolls for replayability and 10 different endings you can get, which always makes things fun. The atmosphere of this game is what really drew me in. It emphasizes paranoia, fear, and ethical tension with the threat of society collapsing due to extreme solar activity, wildfires, and visitor attacks. This game combines elements of 2D and 3D graphics as a dark, dreary filter of blues and greens to enhance the dread and retro synth sound to push the eerie story forward, all adding tension and anxiety to this apocalyptic world. No, I Am Not a Human made this list because it was something different than I've ever really played before. I really questioned how people would hang on to their humanity on the cusp of an apocalypse. It's a very interesting, I guess, social experiment, but in a game. I really liked the replayability of this. I also did not get a great ending as well, but it just makes me want to try to get all the endings, which I think is really fun, and I think that's a sign of a successful game. Check it out if you like psychological horror games with a dark story. The next game on my list is Cronos: The New Dawn. This is a third-person horror survival published and developed by Bloober Team. Set in a post-apocalyptic future and 1980s Poland, you play as the Traveler, an agent of the Mysterious Collective, on missions known as the Vocation. The title blends time travel, retro-futuristic design, and tactical combat with a rich narrative centered around extracting souls of important people from the past, piecing together present mysteries. Through time travel dives, the Traveler extracts essence of people affected by the change, a catastrophic event turning humans into monsters called orphans. The narrative features multiple branching paths and endings, emphasizing moral choices, including interactions with pivotal characters whose actions shape reoccurring time loops, creating a narrative cycle that evolves with New Game Plus. Extracting essence of key individuals from the past can impact gameplay and story. Each essence collected comes with its own unique attribute. You can only acquire 3 essence at one time. As for combat, you can melee and use firearms against enemies. You can also upgrade your weapons and your suit along the way, and for your inventory, tactical planning is crucial, as players must manage limited ammo and other survival resources. Along the way, amongst collectibles, you can collect relic modules. Some help you progress in game by interacting with the environment, such as the emitter, that manipulates time oddities in order to clear pathways. This game stands out to me because of its merge mechanic, where enemies can absorb each other's powers to gain abilities and strength if not destroyed properly. The time travel extractions also keep it interesting because you can choose to extract some of the figures you encounter along the way, and in doing so, it affects story and gameplay. With this game allowing players to choose their narrative path, it just gives way for multiple endings, which gives it more replayability, which we love. And the cherry on top for me for this game is the cat collectibles. Oh yes. There are 10 cats in this game that can be located in locked rooms, hidden pathways, and areas that require specific tools to access. When you find and collect these cats, they drop items, and some of them are rare, so even more incentive to find those kitty cats. If you weren't already incentivized enough and need to play this again to find all of them, you must. The atmosphere in this game is spine-tingling and haunting all at once. Cronos draws inspiration from Silent Hill and The Thing, to name a few, blending body horror with retrofuturism reminiscent of brutalist architecture in 1980s Krakow. Its gruesome alien body horror can be compared to Dead Space, but its gameplay takes influence from games like Resident Evil 4, especially in tactical combat design. Its soundscape brings a gritty synth symphony concocting into a beautiful sci-fi nightmare, and if that doesn't encourage you enough to play this game, just that description of the atmosphere alone, the cats. Go play it for the cats. It's really fun to find them and collect them, and they're really cute. And just like the juxtaposition of the cats being found in this, like, you know, post-apocalyptic world with this gritty biomass stuff going on. I love it. It did remind me of Dead Space, but also I could see all these other influences from the things I've mentioned, like The Thing and Silent Hill and Resident Evil, and all of those things I love a lot, so I hope you enjoy this as much as I did. The next game on my list I could not wait to play ever since I played the first one last year. I just was so excited, especially after I played the demo for this one. It actually made me go back and play the first game, and I just been so excited to play this ever since. So I'm so glad I got around to play this game, and the next game on my list is Tormented Souls II. This is a third-person fixed-angled horror survival game. This was released October 23rd. This was developed by Dual Effect and published by PQ. This game caters to fans of Resident Evil and Silent Hill, offering a more refined take on the nostalgic fixed-angle horror survival experience we love. Picking up after events of the first installment, the game follows Caroline Walker, desperately trying to save her twin sister Anna, who suffers from terrifying visions, drawing disturbing images that may be manifesting in the real world. You are led to the gloomy town of Villa Haas, where you explore locations such as a convent, a derelict school, abandoned mall, processing plant, and bunkers, while encountering puzzles, cults, and tormented foes along the way. As for the gameplay, the game emphasizes exploration and inventory management, with fixed camera angles, warping down tight corridors and hallways, and a good dose of backtrack. Keep an eye on your inventory, resources are scarce, be sure to explore responsibly. God, I have trauma from nights because of Resident Evil. I'm like, oh god, don't drop me. Players use makeshift improvised weapons like nail guns, hammers, chainsaws, shotguns, etc., which can be upgraded along the way if you wander in the right direction. Like most of the horror survival games I enjoy, there's a good dose of interactive, environmental, and logic-based puzzles that require creative thinking. What makes this horror survival game unique is that Caroline possesses supernatural powers that allow her to switch realities, altering the past to explore narrative paths, blending exploration and strategy. To get the most joy out of this game, you get to choose your own playstyle, which I think is very considerate. You can choose a classic 90s style horror gaming experience with limited saves, paint controls, which I prefer, or choose an easier to navigate assisted mode with autosaves. With its classic Resident Evil feel and opportunity for multiple endings, if you're a horror fan, this game should be on your list. The atmosphere is definitely a fun part of this game, especially with the other side, which heavily reminds me of Silent Hill and Stranger Things. The game's dark and gloomy atmosphere leaves a feeling of isolation, desperation, and tension. The darkness itself is a threat to Caroline. You must carry a light with you in dark spaces in order to survive, which makes the atmosphere itself a fatal foe. The music in this game rivals its predecessors. The soundscape includes dreamy yet haunting piano melodies sprinkled throughout the game, along with other nail-biting musical scores to maintain mystery and tension. Oh, I love this music! It's so good! Alright, let's go, Silent Hill. Now for the last game on my list. Yes, I mentioned this game in my last video. I guess as a testament to how much I like the game. I even foreshadowed in the last video that this potentially might be my favorite game of this year, and behold, it made the favorite games list. This game just really stuck with me. It was made by one person, and it's just gorgeous. The soundscape, the coloration, how the game feels, very nostalgic. Also horror survival. Rock? I think not. The game is Heartworm. This game was released on July 31st and was developed by one person, Vincent Idinolfi. Since I incorporated this game in my previous video, please go check that one out. It's the last game I mentioned on that video for all the details about why I love it, what it's about. You won't be sorry. Please go play this. It's a masterpiece. Wow. I hope that you enjoy all these games that I've listed. Let me know which ones were your favorite that came out in 2025. I'd love to discuss it. Which ones are you most anticipated coming out for 2026? I know I have a few, specifically one. I'm sure you will never guess which one that is. I hope that you have a great rest of your year. I hope that you make the next year wonderful. I am so excited for all the games that are coming out. I'm very excited for horror in general right now. I feel like we've been getting pretty good horror movies and great horror games. I have a library full of games I have not gotten to this year that I need to get around to playing, and I need to do that stat, so maybe I'll do that right now, actually. If you liked this video and the horror games I mentioned, please give this a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep a pulse on the next dark adventure. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you dark ones next time.